will going to present about factors associated with underage sex in Malaysia, a secondary data analysis of Malaysia Global School-based Student Health Survey 2012. Underage sex has numerous negative consequences. Adolescents engage in sexual behavior and the majority of this behavior was particularly lack prevention that might be deemed as safe. The objective of the present study has been to examine all the factors associated with sexual behavior among adolescents aged 13 to 18 years old in Malaysia. To do this, a nationally representative sample that consists of 25,399 respondents was used for secondary data analysis. The present study employed other logistic regression to analyze the probability of having multiple sex partners. The independent variable consists of demographic, psychological, and lifestyle factors. Introduction. Underage sex refers to sexual behavior engaged by adolescents who are under the age of consent, and in Malaysia the legal code stipulates that to be the age of 16, with marriage only legal at the age of 18. In today's society, underage sex is one of the main concerns for public health specialists and researchers. It is an assumption that underage sex has serious negative consequences. It can result in teen pregnancy, teen childbearing, as well as sexually transmitted disease such as acute immune deficiency syndrome and human immunodeficiency virus. Furthermore, underage sex has a negative impact on mental health. Theory of resource action and sexual behavior. The theoretical basis of the present study is theory of resource action developed by Fishbein and James and Fishbein, whose research showed that sexual behavior is affected by non-rational factors. However, there is empirical evidence suggesting that sexual behavior is not necessarily an unresourced form of behavior. It can therefore be concluded that at least to some degree, TRA may be related to sexual behavior, and thus it is suitable to explain the decision of adolescents to participate in premarital sexual intercourse. Method. The present study used secondary analysis of the Malaysia Global School-based Study Health Survey 2012 was a nationwide cross-section study conducted by the Ministry of Health Malaysia to identify problems related to health, lifestyle, behavior of the adolescent, and include questions related to health and sexual behavior. Sampling is divided into groups to select a representative sample of the Malaysian adolescent population aged 13 to 18. A total of 234 secondary schools were invited to be part of the survey. In the first stage, sampling all secondary schools in Malaysia that have from 1 to 5 classes were in the frame. Form is a class in secondary school in which students are grouped into forms based on their age and year of schooling. In the second stage, sampling was used to select multiple classrooms for each school by conducting a survey and distributing dictionary in two languages, English and Malay, were distributed to the select students. Survey period from February 23 to April 26, 212. The school response rate was 100%, whereas the student response rate was 88.7%. Protected. The survey procedure protect the student privacy by guaranteeing anonymity when recording the data. The student answered the self-administered questionnaire from a computer located at the classroom without intervention by the survey staff member. Face-to-face interviews were not conducted. Variable. Following the study by Kassan et al. 2014, the independent variable used in the present study, sexual behavior, was assessed based on the number of sexual partners that the respondents have had. Estimate by asking the question, how many people have you sexual intercourse with? This is the respondent answered the question with. The independent variable was selected based on the factors discussed earlier. They were comprised of three main categories: demographic, psychological profile, and lifestyle variable. Gender and age were the demographic variable of this study. The following suicidal behavior were assessed: suicidal inclination, suicidal plan, and suicide attempt. All of these variables were formatted as categorical or categorical variables with different results. Suicidal inclination was evaluated from the question. Suicide attempt was evaluated from the question. Suicidal inclination, suicidal attempt was the most serious category. Suicide attempt, suicidal ideation was the less serious type of suicidal behavior. Drug consumption variable category: smoking, alcohol drinking, and marijuana usage. The intensity of cigarette smoking was measured from the question. The intensity of alcohol was measured from the question. The intensity of marijuana was measured from the question. The intensity of physical activity was measured from the question. Statistical analysis. Statistical analysis descriptive statistics of all the independent variables were calculated. For categorical variables, percentage and frequency were calculated. For continuous variables, mean and standard deviation were estimated. Conclusion: Fisher access test was used to compare the proportion instead of person. Logistic regression was employed to examine the independent relationship between the likelihood of having particular amount of sexual partner and demographic, psychological, and lifestyle factors. Conclusion: Having multiple sexual partners appear to be more common among males. Cigarette smoking and alcohol drinking are definitely associated with the number of sexual partners. Having multiple sexual partners is more common among individuals who use marijuana. Underage sex is more prevalent among physically inactive adolescents. The likelihood radio chi-square statistic of underage logistic regression highly significant, indicating that all the explanatory variables are driving significant. Male adolescents are more likely to become involved in sexual practices than female adolescents. Age is associated with an increased likelihood of having multiple sexual partners, but also cigarette smoking associated with an increased number of sexual partners. Physically active reduce the number of sexual partners. The likelihood of engaging in premature sex is higher among adolescents who drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes. Researchers